Welcome back. I don't know what happened. I just kind of went in my world. You know, we do that sometimes, from time to time. So, welcome back to Here We Skol. We're going to get into this Vikings recap for the season.
How you doing?
I'm all right, man. It's been a while. We back, though.
We back.
We got a little recap on the season. So, I'm just going to jump in. This isn't going to be too optimistic because, honestly, our season didn't end the greatest. I mean, actually...
Well, you're supposed to go 17-0.
Always.
What'd you end up finishing?
I don't even remember.
7-9?
Yeah.
And I was good enough for second in the division.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Second in the division at 7-9.
Yeah, and we didn't... Man, it's just tough, man. It was a tough season. I was disappointed with the COVID thing fallout.
Was it 15? I won't touch on it. I'll let you touch on it. Maybe I'll bring it up in a little bit. I'll talk about your game closeness and, the results.
So it's tough. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know what's going to happen yet. So many things are in the air. It does look like we got McConnell as our head coach. That was the end of the Zim era. Thank you.
And Spielman.
Thank you. He's been there way too long. So, and don't get me wrong, I like Spielman in a way. I thought he was good. He's a good BSer. He's a good, I
was going to say, because they were talking about promoting him
that was him.
Out of GM,
and
but then they outright fired
his information.
That may be because
he's
then
trying
he
to pull
outright
his little
fired.
strings and stuff. He's one of those.
Outright, bye-bye.
Yeah, so I'm glad he's gone. I'm happy with our new GM so far, but I mean, who's gonna know for a couple of years? I mean, it's all up in the air at this point.
It's up in the air, but I mean, this guy's got a good rapport.
Yes.
He's got a good history, good reputation.
Analytics, Princeton graduate, Stanford graduate, econ. You know, that's I love my numbers.
He might work your salary cap books there because with Thielen, JJ, Cook, and whatever's gonna happen with Kirk, you definitely got some numbers to run.
Yeah, definitely. We're already like $20 million over, and Kirk's scheduled to make 45. So something's gonna happen, one way or the other. Something's gonna happen.
That's what 21% of your salary cap.
Like 25. Yeah, So
Oof.
I don't know. Something's gonna have to happen. So we'll see how that goes. But just back to the recap on the previous season. I mean, I don't know. I hate to blame it on Kirk, but he wasn't there when we needed him, man. It's the biggest game of the year, and this dude's out on fucking COVID. So at least get the vaccination, I guess. But I don't have the vaccination, so I'm a hypocrite on that aspect. So it is what it is. I'm glad it went down the way it did. I'm glad we got to clean the proverbial house. Got to get some fresh blood in there. We still have a very young, talented roster. We have pieces to fill, but we'll see. I don't know. Again, too many moving pieces to know what's going on at this point in the season.
Yeah.
Super Bowl's 2 weeks away, so I mean, we just announced that it's been leaked that McConnell's probably our coach.
So you have to wait 2 weeks for that announcement.
Yeah, so they can't even officially name him until after the Super Bowl. So we're legit in limbo. They just named the head coach, so who knows how the coordinators are gonna go. So I don't know what the hell's gonna go down.
Okay,
So
with that there, if you were the GM and now that you know O'Connell's going to be your head coach, who would you want to bring in as your coordinators?
See, I don't know who he has access to. You know what I mean? I've been hearing people talk about...
So the general rule of thumb when it comes to coaches for the NFL, you can pull a coach from another team
as long as it's a promotion.
As long as it's, a promotion or a lateral move. If it's a lateral move, you have to get permission from the team to speak with them. They can block it at that point. And in some cases if it's a lateral move, they may seek compensation. So maybe you have to work as a trade.
Right.
A la the John Gruden whole thing with the Raiders and Buccaneers.
Yeah.
So there's some people out there. I mean, there may be some assistants that you can think of, or I threw it in the other one, who I think if you have O'Connell coming in as your head coach on the offensive side of things, and considering with all the, I don't want to say controversy now at the point of what was just recently reported, but bringing in Brian Flores as your D coordinator.
Yeah, that's a good option. I like Flores. I think he's a good guy. So maybe we'll see how it goes. I don't think anyone's going to touch him though with him with that pending lawsuit in the league.
Okay.
So,
But with that said, are there any defensive coaches out there that you think or that you like?
well, the guy from Washington, the D coordinator, they've been interviewing him for the head coaching job. I've been hearing he may be an option as the DC.
Okay.
We still got Patterson under contract, so he was the acting DC. Them called all the plays, so it could be a promotion for him. Let him stay around. I think Dre's an amazing coach, so if he's not a bad option.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've heard all these different names, but most of them were all attached to Harbaugh, so nobody really knows who McConnell has because he's 36 or 37.
You got a young guy. Well, let's everyone go with the young guys. You're trying to pull the McVay.
Yeah, so he's the second youngest coach of all time. So I don't know who he was just playing 3-4 years ago. I don't know how these guys get so fast-tracked into the head coaching jobs. I'm kind of upset about it, honestly. I'm not going to lie. I wanted Raheem Morris.
Josh McCown is up for the Texans job.
Yeah.
He played 2 seasons ago.
Yep. I get it. So some of these pedigrees I just don't think are... I think black coaches to such a high standard, and it's like these guys just get fast-tracked so quickly. And it's like this guy hasn't even called plays. The last time he called plays was for Kirk Cousins in 2017, and it was Kirk's worst year.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he's not calling plays, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
So we're at a point where it's like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing half the time. It doesn't seem to make sense. It's like, anyways. All right, so we'll see how this goes. We'll let the next couple weeks unfold, see how the draft goes before I bury him completely, but I was probably at 100 of excitement before when they were talking about Harbaugh, and now I'm down to like a 12. So,
and we just got that news like a half hour before we started recording this gig here. Like literally, we're just doing a mock draft just to kind of see how things are going, and we had to stop because we had to read what was going on with Harbaugh.
Man, so I guess we'll see how it goes. But again, I'm pretty down right now that they didn't go with either one of the candidates that I was hoping for. But
do you think maybe they try to steal Morris from the Rams and have him come in as DC?
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad move
considering he's. But
I doubt McVay.
You're taking the Rams OC.
Yeah, but McVay blocked McConnell from last year. Someone tried to get him for an OC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't call plays, and they blocked him. So I don't think McVay let anybody go. He gonna block everybody. So. That's why it's like if we do, that means we're gonna have a QB coach, somebody or something. It's like I don't know.
Is there a QB coach out there that you think that you'd like them to bring in? Considering, I mean, if Kirk is going to listen to the guy,
I don't want Kirk.
You don't want Kirk.
At the end of the day, I don't want Kirk.
Okay, so again, you playing GM, you get rid of Kirk. Who do you bring in as QB? Or is this part of your future talk that I'm jumping the gun?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really. Yeah, we'll just kind of get in. We'll go
to that later. Okay,
yeah.
Let's talk more about this past season then.
Well, there's nothing else to talk about. Kirk did his Kirk thing. We went 500. It's not good enough to beat anybody. Zim's number one defense has turned into trash. We had those two of the most awful defenses the last 2 years. It's too complicated for everybody. Nobody knows what the hell to do.
Well, then
our corners are getting burnt left and right.
And the stat that I was going to bring up, and I wasn't sure if you were going to touch on, was it 15 games were decided by one score?
Right. So obviously we have a good roster. We can compete. We just need some coaching to get us over the proverbial hump. So,
not run on second down every game, every series. At the end of the half.
I'm glad. Honestly, I'm so glad Mike Zimmer is fired.
It's going to be exciting to see. I'm excited to see kind of just the difference in the changes that the Vikings bring in here.
He's just a crotchety asshole.
After he was fired, a lot of stories started leaking out.
Yeah, definitely. And it's
how stubborn and hardcore this guy was.
And he still won't admit nothing. I don't know. He's all ego.
Mm-hmm.
That's how those guys are. They're all ego, some of them. So I don't know. He doesn't seem like a good person, but hey, I don't know the guy, so who the hell am I to say? I just see how he talks to people and treats people and throws rookies under the bus for no fucking reason.
Throws rookies under the bus that he doesn't play.
Yeah, right. So I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got his guys though, right?
Yeah.
Too bad you only don't coach your guys. You're supposed to be the head coach of the entire football team, but you know.
Yeah, and that's why he's not a coach anymore. So
yeah.
All right. Well, if that's all you got there on the season.
Yeah, so the dumpster fire's over finally. We ended up with the 11th or to 12th pick, so could have been a little worse.
The win at the end cost you. What you went from what to from
We could have been 7.
with the loss?
It was 7 or 8. I didn't see how it ended up at the end because we had won, so I didn't even care at that point. But it
You
could have
thought
been
you finished
7 or 8,
12th.
and we finished 12th. Yeah, because we beat the Bears. So I mean, but hey, it's the Bears. You can always be happy with the dub over the Bears.
Same. Steelers went from 18 to 20, so it was only
Yeah, you know,
minuscule on that part. But granted, you went from top 10 to
12.
12.
We
So
still
I mean,
got
that
a
does make a
shot.
little difference. Yeah, you still got definitely got to get a good player. I know you guys are.
So, all right, that's enough of the last season. Let's throw that crap in the bag.
Let's talk about the
Got rid
future.
of coach. Let's move into the off season and what we got coming forward. I don't have mine in any particular order, so I'm just gonna start from the top and work my way down.
Okay.
We were just talking about the QB situation, so that was my first one anyways. We're gonna find out what's going on soon. He's got his salary coming up in March where it becomes fully guaranteed. He is available to be traded. We're talking about Kirk Cousins, obviously.
Okay.
We got a new coach coming in. I don't know if he's worked with Kirk before and it was Kirk's worst season. So he may be someone. I keep hearing him saying they liked his vision. So I'm assuming the vision means no longer having Kirk Cousins. But I don't know what that means yet, right?
Well, it's definitely gonna be a lot of cap relief if you get rid of him.
Right. It frees up a lot of money the second he's gone. We got a pretty high pick. We can make a move if we have to get up a little higher in the draft. If we trade Kirk to the right team, we could probably get another first and then some.
You know, I never thought about that. Maybe Kirk to. Well, I don't know if the Panthers will want him.
The Panthers are looking, though. Houston's looking.
Swap first with the Panthers and throw Kirk in there.
Yeah, I'd take that in a heartbeat. They're 5.
You
That
probably
might be your pick about the quarterback.
you
then.
might have to give you might have to give like next year's second or third maybe.
See, I don't think so, though, because Kirk, I think, is going to come off looking. He looks great.
But for the number 5 though.
Yeah. If you can get 2 for Stafford and take Goff, you know what I mean? That's a pretty good. It may take a while to get the price up to that level, but I think once teams get in on Kirk, they'll be willing to give up the goods like they always do. 'Cause how many of these teams think they're just a quarterback away?
Right. Washington.
Yeah, but I don't know if that'll work though.
Where's Washington at? 10?
Yeah, they're around us. So
10 or 11?
Yep. So that's one option.
Okay.
So we'll see how the quarterback thing plays out. I'm liking some of the young guys. There's a lot of these guys look pretty good.
So going back to my question there too, then I didn't mean to cut you off. You playing the role of GM. You get
trading
rid of Kirk. Who do you want to bring in?
Preferably, I want to bring in Malik Willis and
Okay.
develop him.
Okay. Starting the first year, or bringing the gap guy.
I'm bringing in
Bring
a
back
cat
Teddy.
guy, and you know that's who I'm bringing back. You know that's who I'm bringing back. So if I'm GM, I'm bringing back Teddy at about 10, 15,
Okay.
maybe even less. You can
2-year
probably
deal,
get him
10,
for
15?
8. Yeah, you can probably get him for 8. With understanding, we need you to mentor the young boy. Welcome home. Hey, Teddy, we missed you. Develop Willis behind him. He can learn the mental aspect of the game as well as great leadership, because that's one of the traits that Teddy
has.
is he's just an amazing leader. And then if Teddy blows up and keeps it going, then I'm happy with that. And if not, you bring the rookie in and later in the year, maybe 2.
Yeah, Ben was supposed to sit 2 seasons. They
Yeah.
intended to have him sit at least a season. And look what happened.
Yeah, you never know, but you at least set yourself up in that position. So if you were to pull something like that, you get another first round to address some more needs. You get rid of Kirk Cousins and his contract and all the other stuff that comes along with Kirk Cousins.
All the Kirkiness.
Yep.
Kirky the turkey.
And the love and the man, people love Kirk more than the Vikings, I swear. It's weird. It's weird. I don't like it. Take y'all asses back to where the fuck you came from.
Well, I sent you the meme with Joe Burrow where it's like they're comparing him to like Chuck Norris. There's like Chuck Norris type saves. I read that and I was like, that just reminded me all specifically of those Kirk Cousins stats you like to throw at me.
Yeah, definitely. So
it was pretty funny.
So
But, all right. Get rid of Kirk.
That's one scenario. The other scenario we got is Daniil Hunter and what to do with him. His contract becomes guaranteed. I believe it's March as well.
How many years has he got? 1?
He has 1 left that we can have that'll turn it fully guaranteed, or we can extend him, or we could trade him.
Okay.
And top tier defensive ends at his caliber usually come with a 1-2 price tag.
Someone will definitely give up. I'd say give up a 2 for him. I would say someone like that needs a pass rusher like the Steelers might give up, something
I can
for
see people giving up more than that because besides the 2 injuries, he was on pace to be one of the
and that's the only reason why I think he could go. He would definitely for someone reaching to throw a 2.
See, the reason I don't think it's a reach is because his 2 injuries were fluke injuries. They're not really recurring ones. Like it's not like he hurt his knee,
right,
or his back.
It's not like tendonitis and
that's like a reoccurring. He has cartilage missing in his knee.
Right.
It's gonna flare up every season.
But it is his neck.
Well, he already came back and bounced back and dominated the first half of this year from that, and then he tore his pec muscle.
Okay.
And that's just a fluke type. In the gym, you're going to tear a pec. So,
yeah.
I personally feel you can get 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2, or 1 and a 3 for him.
I think teams are going to push for 3-4.
Yeah, then I wouldn't trade him and I would re-sign him. Give him 3 years,
3-4 is still decent, though. I mean,
Nah, not for a top edge. No way. Not for a top 5-10 edge. There's no way in hell.
But he's missed significant time the past 2 seasons.
So if the price is that low, then I wouldn't trade him. I would
you as the GM, okay.
Yeah, we're talking me as a GM. So
okay.
But yeah, I think a reasonable 2-3 year extension is probably the ideal scenario. But I do think there's trade value, and if it gets crazy trade value, then I would trade him.
Okay.
Someone like the Jets. Maybe
the Jets, there you go.
Up 2 of their
Jets would be a good example on that one there.
They need to work on that D line a little bit. So who knows? But that would be one of mine.
But if they draft Thibodeau or because they got what 2 or 3,
right?
So they're
getting long in the tooth. Fletcher Cox is up there. Barnett's up there.
Yeah.
So they need to rejuvenate that defensive line quickly.
Definitely.
So I could see that being a good trade partner, possibly.
Okay.
All right. So the number 3 thing they need to focus on this offseason is the O-line interior. We definitely got to fix the center. We got to get rid of the center and a right guard.
What about Mason Cole? I thought he was your boy.
Mason Cole I would be okay with Mason Cole playing center, but we have to get a solid backup.
Mm-hmm.
Someone to compete, maybe a draft pick.
Someone
like
to push him.
Lindstrom. Yeah, someone like that.
Lindstrom or Linderbaum?
Linderbaum, that's what I meant, not Lindstrom. Yeah, Linderbaum. Yeah, the draft pick from Iowa.
Yeah. The guy I want the Steelers to get.
Yeah, the giant.
If they can't get Pickett.
So he would something like that, or go get a couple vets out there. Like you said, there's a lot of them out there. We need a guard. We need a center. We need the same couple pieces that you need.
Yeah. And Kelsey's the 3rd rated center in free agency.
Right.
But the other 2 I think weren't going to happen. I think the one was Jensen, like with the Buccaneers, like he's not going to go anywhere.
I'm also not sure though because we got Wyatt Davis last year, and
you're hyping him up. I mean, he sounded pretty good.
And with the shit show at Zimmer and how he does his rookies, that was actually going to be another one of my points. I'll talk about that in a little bit. We'll go back to that.
Okay.
But I think there may be talent on the team once we get an actual coach in there that might be able to work them up a little bit or something along those, teach them a little better. So we'll see, but we definitely got to fix the O-line because if we keep Kirk, he cannot deal with pressure up the middle.
Yeah.
So that's the number 1 failure of our general manager is not addressing the issues for this $200 million quarterback that you brought in, and then you don't give him the help that everybody and their
knows that he's going to need
that he needs to succeed. So
you invest in the quarterback, but then you don't put the investment to protect your quarterback.
Right, and that's almost more important than the quarterback. It's almost like the running back, right? The
right.
line's more important than who you got in the backfield.
Yeah.
So it's one of those we got to get that addressed.
Yeah, because you don't need a Tom Brady. I mean, it would be nice to get a Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning type of quarterback, but if you got a strong enough line,
but even if you had
Jimmy G could get you a win. I mean, fuck, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
But even if you have one of those superstar quarterbacks, they still want an O-line.
You still need to give them an O-line. You still need to give them an O-line, of course.
Nobody like getting hit in the face. You hit Aaron in the face a couple times, he usually folds the rest of the game.
No, you hit Aaron in the face and they just make a new rule the next season.
Yeah, well, that too. You at least got to hit him in the face. So
At least that first time, right?
definitely a win.
Okay, what's the next topic? What's the next one?
All right, the next one is, are we cleaning house? We got a lot of old vets that are making a lot of money in a lot of weird positions. We brought in an analytics dude who really likes...
As I said, he's going to crunch that salary cap big time. I think that's his first task.
Like, there's statistics out there about certain dollar values per position where it's like, it's more important to spend for a cornerback than it is to spend for a safety. Statistically speaking, based on blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
And that's outside cornerback versus slot cornerback versus free safety and strong safety.
Right. So all our money is in our linebackers and our safeties, which are statistically one of the worst two positions you can have your money in on defense.
Unless you have an all-generation player.
Right. And Harrison Smith, possible Hall of Famer, is definitely no longer an all-generational player. Possibly.
He's long in the tooth.
He's getting up there. He's one of the oldest safeties in the league, and he's getting paid like the second highest out of all safeties. He ain't playing that level. You know what I mean? He ain't ball hawking out there.
Maybe there might have to be some. There might have to be some. Yeah, I noticed they put him in the box a lot.
Yeah,
even though they had him sprint back, but
yeah, and then they run him dead doing all of that stuff. Like, man,
he ain't that young buck like he was. So I definitely saw a lot of that there.
Yeah, so. And that's why I'm kind of reluctant on a lot of what I'm saying here is because I don't know how much of this is just mismanagement of the coaching staff.
And that's true. Well, I think the GM, considering that you are over the cap and everything, maybe it's just a lot of restructuring.
Right. You can always kick it down. The cap's going to keep going up. COVID's over. They added 20 this year. They'll probably add another 20 next year.
Convert some stuff to signing bonus and then spread those out a couple years. Yeah, that definitely doesn't impact there. But
so, salary cap.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so we'll be able to work around that. So, but I'm just curious how it all goes. New coaches, new GMs usually means new players. So we'll see if that happens. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of sad fans.
So there's going to be a clean house rebuild. You think?
Yeah.
I know. We talked about that, and you didn't feel like they should. That they should just.
I don't think they should. I think they have a lot of good pieces, and I think they'll make there's always turnover in the NFL. So
considering you're bringing a new GM, a new coach,
absolutely,
they're going to want to bring in their guys.
So I expect quite a bit of turnover. So we'll see how it goes. I hope they don't get rid of Kendricks.
You can't get rid of Kendricks.
Yeah, he has to stay at the
Kendricks is your franchise.
Yeah, exactly. I think that he's earned it. Plus, he's playing top notch. He's all over the place, except for when our D-line gets destroyed, which they did a lot this year. So
give him some help.
Yeah, so get Barr out of there. I think that should help. He played hard as hell the last couple games of the year. I wish that would have been there the last 3-4 fucking years, but got to get that money, right, man?
Actually earn that contract he got.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's probably got degenerative knees at this point anyway. So.
Yeah.
So on to my fifth and final point. I'm curious about this past year's rookie class because we brought in like 12 people, and I really don't know.
Did any rookies play last season? The safety? No, he wasn't the safety. He was a rookie.
Cam Bynum, he did great when he was in there. They actually started playing 3 safeties so they could get that extra
get him in there
a little bit.
And then your kick returner. That's about it.
Kenny Ngwangu, he's supposed to be legit. I still want to see about the lineman. I told you about that. We got Chad Surratt, who was supposed to be this freak athlete linebacker, but had to learn a lot of the game still.
Okay. Kind of like those, like he started playing football his senior year in high school.
Yeah, I think he was like a running back and they switched him to linebacker.
Ooh-wee.
Or a quarterback and switched him to linebacker.
So just completely different reading.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Right. So learning to play defense, basically, and then learning at the NFL. I think he only had 1 year at that position in college.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but there's still a lot of pieces out there. And then we still have the second-year guys. So I'm just curious. I don't think we're as far away as possible, and I don't think we've had a chance to get a fair assessment of what our true roster looks like. So I'm very interested to see what it looks like. And, with the coach coming from the Rams, Cooper Kupp had an amazing year. Sounds like a Jefferson clone possibly this year.
Maybe.
They got a lot of similarities with their game, so.
But you need that quarterback that's going to want to throw the ball deep or throw that ball into coverage. So, basically, you're going to want that quarterback that does everything Kirk doesn't want to do.
So I've been looking at a lot of these coordinators and stuff, and one thing I've noticed out of all the people who come from the Rams when they talk, their quarterback coach, because that guy's fucking hilarious. If you haven't had a chance to see him, I think his name's McConnell too, or
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, and then this guy, they always talk about how you have to have options for your quarterbacks based on what the defense could do.
Right.
I don't think Kubiak's offense was that sophisticated. So I think we had a lot of plays that were like, actually, your team is a perfect reference. I think you guys had a lot of plays like that where it's like we have 3 8-step drop development
And see what
and
comes
no
from
hot
that.
routes. And they blitz 9. And then, somebody's going to get through.
Yeah.
It's hard to match up when you have even numbers and then you don't know where it's coming from, especially with a young offensive line, which I think we had such crap in the interior that, I mean, they're young too, but not really. They were just light in the...
They were youngish.
They just had soft anchors. They had weak anchors.
Yeah.
And Oli Udo is not a NFL caliber player at guard, at least. But...
Is he on the team next season?
I hope not. I hope not. If he is, it's a red flag to the new coaching staff in my eyes. I don't know how you watch that film from last year and be like, yeah, let's get this guy. Let's keep this guy on the roster.
You mean let's just for depth?
No, not even for depth. No.
Oh.
I'd rather have Mason Cole, another Mason Cole.
Okay.
They're easy to find, those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't need someone. That's why I think Wyatt can solve that position possibly, but we'll see. So I just want some good developing coaches so they can work and help develop these kids into some great players. I think we got a lot of good pieces. We got a good leadership. We got a good locker room. We just need someone who knows what the hell they're doing and is willing to listen and collaborate.
Gotcha.
Which is supposedly all these guys are about. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. It's still early in the year, so, it might take a while to figure out how this goes, but that's my recap of the season and some things I think they need to look at this offseason. So hopefully it ends up good and we can get back to that 16-0 projection by the beginning of next year like we always do. Here we Skol, baby. Another wonderful coaching staff coming into the Minnesota Vikings this year.
Let's see what coaching staff they bring in.
Other
than
than
O'Connell,
see.
which is the projection. And that's the projection at this point. Still 2 weeks away to make that announcement. If that's the case.
Official, right. So we'll see how the backlash comes tonight. For all we know, it'll be Raheem Morris tomorrow.
Considering.
We'll see. So.
All right, y'all. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this 2021 season here for us. Thanks so much again. I know we didn't cover every week, but we appreciate again all the love and support. Continue to like, share, follow, subscribe, hit all those buttons and stuff. We're definitely working on a lot more things, and I think it was a good rookie season for us.
Yeah, definitely. We got our toes wet. We got hurt a little bit. Got punched in the mouth a few times. Got more comfortable on the mic. I'm still looking at my laptop way too much.
I still look at his laptop way too much.
We'll fix it eventually. I don't know. I'm wondering, should we get 2 cameras with just the headshots that I've been seeing a lot of people? I don't know. We're working on. We're gonna come up with it. But one thing's for sure, I need a better laptop because this thing be fighting with me, boy, struggling. So we'll see if we can flip this next year. Come back a little stronger next year.
We'll work
Tune in for the mock drafts. We're gonna have all the hot picks. We're gonna start checking out some of these draft picks, get some assessments of our own.
Yep, definitely.
Maybe we'll watch some film. You ever do that yet? Watch a little film, see what we think?
I haven't watched film for rookies in a long time.
I do every year. I can't help myself. It's my favorite time of the year. I love draft season because it's all you got in football.
That's all you got in football. That's true. That's true.
So, yeah, well, all right. Thanks for checking us out. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, mama friends, that again.
All that good stuff. Once again, we're out here for Here We Skol. Have a good one.
We Skol. Damn it. Wait. I rushed
He was
it.
fast on that one, amongst other things.
How dare you talk like you know? How would you even know?
Skol Vikings, let's win this game. Skol Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down, make it a touchdown. Rock 'em